All right, and welcome to Grand Prix Denver. This is day 2, round 10, and we are watching Gaudenis Vidugiris, who I believe he drafted a green, black, infect / fatties deck, versus Martin Juza, who drafted, what did he draft?
Blue, green, splash red for a double arc trail, and he's got like some monsters. He's got like a Fangren Marauder. I'm bad with names, but the 6-mana 4/4 flyer.
Lumigrant Gargoyle.
Quicksilver Gargantuan, I think it's called, the 7-mana 5/5 that clones things.
All right, and in the booth, Rashad Miller, Rob Martin, and Pro Tour Paris champion Ben Stark. He's shy.
No, okay.
He waved. I know you can't see it, but that's what the viewers
Okay.
are watching. And you can also see the live totals and everything there.
This is sweet.
So it looks like Martin's didn't like his hand.
Martin is a very aggressive mulliganer. I think it's one of the reasons he's so successful. He doesn't keep bad hands. This is sweet. So you guys just get to have like a perfect view of the feature matches all day.
This
I don't wanna
is
play Magic anymore.
I know this is the quintessential rail, so to speak.
You just
Right?
got a perfect bird's eye view of all the best matches all day.
Unless Bill Stark, takes the actual best match from us, and then we get the second best match. But
Yeah.
it's still good enough. Yeah, but
Yeah.
this is the best match.
This is the best match here. I mean, they're both limited Grand Prix champions. Martin multiple. I mean, how lucky are we to be sitting here watching Gaudenis and Martin at 9-0?
All right, so we're going to start off with the Copper Mirror and Gaudenis. Ooh, played
Infect.
Stinger. So it looks like Gaudenis has started off with the poison half of his deck.
Yeah, and it looks like Martin's just mostly got a Slice and Twain, which isn't going to be too effective. And he's got a bunch of lands.
Ooh, Slice and Twain, land.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll Slice and Twain his own.
No, I don't think
Copper
he's
Mirror.
not going to do that, but he kind of just telegraphed the Slice and Twain if Gaudenis is sharp, because he could have attacked with the Copper Mirror. There's no way that
Right.
Gaudenis would have blocked with Plague Stinger. If I was Gaudenis, I would never play an artifact here.
Oh,
Not while he's got the 4 open. I mean, I don't mind him slicing it later, but, like if I had a Tumble Magnet, let's say as my only 3-drop here, I'd just pass a turn, because, I mean, he almost definitely has to have a Slice and Twain, and if not, then he has a counter spell at least, because he just sat and left 4 mana open. So he's either got the 4-mana counter target spell, the blue card that proliferates, or he's got Slice and Twain.
Yeah, and actually, Martin kind of held Gaudenis back after he played the Rager. He's like, whoa,
Yeah.
wait a second.
Yeah, because he doesn't want Gaudenis to know that he has Slice and Twain and not that 4-mana counter spell.
Right.
Because clearly by not attacking the Copper Mirror, he's got something that costs 4.
So Martin picked up another land, so he's,
Yeah,
Heavy
he's in
land.
bad shape.
yeah. So when do you consider Slice and Twaining your own Copper Mirror? Is that ever a consideration?
It's a consideration. I mean, if you're going to die, if you don't find a certain card, I mean, you have to do it. But that's a desperation move. I mean, there's so many artifacts in this format. He's got to assume that Gaudenis might play an artifact at some point.
Right. Ooh, and there is a Gelad's Fallen. Tell Gelad's Fallen.
Yeah.
Is that a Lumigrid
Yeah,
Drake?
that's a Luminger Drake. At least he can block the Tel'Gelad Fallen or the Plague Stinger. But actually, if Go doesn't have anything, it can block first the Stinger and then the Fallen. I'm sure Go won't attack with the Stinger into it if he doesn't have anything, but...
What does Gaudenis have in his hand? Let's see if
I
we
saw
can
a black
take
Trigon. That's about all I could really make out. He just drew Bellowing Tangleworm.
Yeah. Which is actually really good right now.
in this matchup.
Because with the Bell and Tangleworm, that
Fallen
Fallen
is
is just unblockable.
Yeah. Well, except by green guys. I mean, Martin's playing green.
But right now it's unblockable.
Right now, it's unblockable.
And there it is.
Yeah.
Martin's at 18 life with 2 poison counters currently. Gaudenis running the perfect so far, 20-0.
He should be technically down for the one that he loses 2 life for drawing the card. The black one.
Oh yeah, he should be at 19.
Yeah.
Gaudenis should be at 19 life.
I don't think it's a big concern.
No. He's really far ahead.
Yeah.
And currently, that Fallen is still unblockable.
This game is just not how Martin's going to beat Go. I mean, Martin has double Arc Trail, and Arc Trail would be insane right now. He obviously doesn't even have a red or an Arc Trail in his hand. But if he's going to beat Go in the next couple of games, he's going to have to draw Arc Trails, not Slice and Twains.
How many Arc Trails did he pick up?
Picked up 2.
2.
Wow.
Go knows he has one, though, because Go passed him one of them.
But he doesn't know that he's playing red. He hasn't seen a red source
It's
yet.
true. That's a good point.
For those of you who don't know Gaudenis very well, he's a thinker. He's methodical.
He's a very good player.
Yeah, he is.
Like I said, he won GP Tampa last year, or 2 years ago now.
Was it 2 years ago?
2
Yeah,
years?
I guess.
Oh.
Yeah.
It was
Technically, it was 2009.
like a year and a half, you know.
Yeah.
The end of the 09 season. That was about as close as I get to a hometown GP because I live in Florida. It's a couple hours away from me. I was really hoping to do well, but I ended up 34th. I was very disappointed.
So Martin is still looking at a bunch of land.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be hard for me to sound completely unbiased. Martin's one of my best friends on the Pro Tour, but he's dead.
That's a good way to phrase it, yeah.
This is just not a game. It's not close. It's not interesting. You know, he's just dead. He took a mulligan and then drew 7 or 8 lands and a copper mare. There it is.
There's the call for the Slice and Twin on his own guy. Oh,
And he drew a land.
And now he's going to concede.
Wow.
And another land.
Yeah, he showed him.
He said, "Hey, I still have all these islands and forests."
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see what he sideboards.
Oh, so is Gaudenis writing for Star City now, or is he just rocking the shirt?
I don't think I've seen an article by him on Star City.
Right, and while these guys are shuffling, we'd like to thank StrikeZoneOnline.com for, first of all, being so awesome.
Yes.
But second of all, for buying top cards at top dollar, and you know, if you pay $30 or more on an order, they'll ship it to you for free. So just like if you buy half a Jace the Mind Sculptor, they'll ship it to you for
Just
free.
half of it. They'll cut it in half and send you half of it.
You know what I actually always remembered about Strike Zone too? I don't know if they're actually the one who started this or not, but Wizards used to always sell the pens and pads for $1 each. And I remember Strike Zone as being one of the first dealers that started giving them out for free at tournaments, you know, to the players, which was nice because who wants to pay $2 for a pen and a pad? It's, you know,
Strike Zone Online, the most generous vendor at Pro Tours and GPs. And also, if you want to save an extra 10%, use coupon code GG's Live. So that's awesome. We just like saying GG's Live.
Yeah, sure. And I actually always remembered that. Back then I was poor. This was a long time ago, and it was kind of tacky. I felt.
Yeah, and paper and pen is so hard to come by. You just when you get here and you don't have it, you know.
Yes.
Actually, when I'm at home, I have a hard time finding it.
But it's just one of those. It's just one of those things that's the principle. Like, you know, you don't feel like you should be paying $2 for something that costs nothing.
But
you know?
but think about this: when these guys bring pens to give out to everyone, you know how much they're paying for these pens?
I have no idea, to be honest.
Well, first of all, they have to bring a lot of pens if everyone's going to need a pen, and bring a lot of paper, and they're doing this every tournament. It adds up.
Okay.
And they're probably.
But it seems like if you do it like Strike Zone did, you know, put your name on the pen, you get some advertisement value, and I don't know what they cost, but it seems like a win-win.
Tchotchkes are not cheap.
Shot tokens aren't cheap either.
There were a lot of Rashad tokens in the feature matches and stuff in Paris.
Were there?
Yeah, people were attacking and blocking Rashad tokens.
You know what? PT Paris was the first PT that I did coverage at that I had absolutely no clue what was going on in the tournament. I did the metagame breakdown, and then I had to do so much technical stuff to get the player of the year shot going, but I just had no clue what was going on. I was like, here's the metagame. Don't know who won. Who's winning? Who day two'd? I don't know.
Yeah, you know, somebody got really lucky and won.
It's so much easier now. It's
Martin mulliganing again.
It's so much easier now for you to sit here and watch it, to know what's going on, then you understand where people are at, and you know, because you always know the feature matches because you're actually hearing them all the time, so you pretty much know who's doing well and not. And it's nice because then, like, people like you come in the booth and we find out what's going on and how the records are, what you're playing with.
Hey, this is great. I mean, if I was standing on the rail, I wouldn't have nearly the view I have right here of this match.
This is quite the rail.
I wish I could get like a feed and have like multiple TVs at my house, and when I don't come to a tournament, I could just watch all the feature matches like this. That would be awesome. Like perfect bird's eye view.
That'd be a lot of cameras.
It would be, but boy, talk about giving people unprecedented coverage.
Yeah.
And it's 3 feature matches at one time.
You can see a lot of the cards in their hand. You can see the board perfectly. I mean, this is awesome.
So let's see if the 6 is better.
Yeah, Martin's gonna have to draw some good hands.
I
here.
see some spells.
It's a bunch of
and some
expensive
land.
stuff. I don't. He's gonna keep this, I'm pretty sure, but I don't think this is gonna bode very well against Gaudenis'
Against plague stingers and
But he's got the pest one that gives him the 2-floor flyer.
Yeah, there's no way he can mulligan the hand on 6. I mean, he's got a 3-land hand and 3 spells. But the problem is the spells cost like 4, 5, and 6, and Gaudenis is playing an aggro deck with a bunch of little infect creatures and stuff. So Martin knows that this is unlucky. He mulliganed his 7, hoping to see a hand with a mountain and an arc trail or something like that. And he just found a slow hand that, you know, he's going to have to really draw well if he's going to win this game.
Oh, there's assist bear. That's going to be nice. Life staff.
Now you have to block here, right? Because that
Yeah.
the
If you don't block your fish, because you can just sack it afterwards and kill
Yeah,
it. So
right.
the second he attacks, it's an auto block.
And I believe he has 2 of those in his deck, so
Gaudenis is going to up to 23 life.
Yeah, and you can already see how bad this game's going to go for Martin. He's going to play Cisbear, and Martin's answer on 4 is going to be a 2-2 that can't even block it.
yep, there it is.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Martin has the bounce spell to maybe catch himself back up. So, I mean, if Gaudenis can't answer the 4-4 flyer, or Martin draws, like, I don't know, some very good cards, he could get back in the game.
Now that's the bounce spell that bounces 2 creatures, right?
Right. This is going to be a very tough game for Martin.
There's the red mirror.
Yeah, because the 2-2 flyer wouldn't really do anything. He just drew the red mirror this turn, obviously, or he would have played it last turn, or the turn before. But the 2-2 flyer doesn't really stop the Cisbear, so he knows he has to play that and the bounce spell and attempt to bounce the Cisbear and whatever Gaudenis is going to do next.
Right.
What will be interesting is that if Martin draws a land, if he chooses to play the 4-4 flyer here, or if he chooses to play the bounce spell, it's going to be an interesting decision. Could go either way, I think.
He does have the plague stinger out now.
Yeah. But, I mean, Martin's got the land, so he's got to choose between this 4-4 flyer and between bouncing both of Gaudenis' creatures. Generally, you play your creatures first and your removal second, so that would probably be the correct play to play the 4-4 flyer. But if Go kills it, he's going to concede, you know? All but concede. I mean,
Let's see, does Gaudenis actually have anything that can target that?
Yeah, he's got
is that the...
and give you a poison counter.
And give you a poison counter.
Yeah.
And now he hits for 3 more poison counters?
So he's at...
4 more.
Or 4 more total, yeah.
So he's going to be at 7 poison.
Yeah.
I don't see...
No, like, I mean,
Martin coming back.
yeah, that's pretty much going to do it. I mean,
Well, he's going to bounce the 2 back in his hand.
yeah, but he's just going to replay them.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. He's not going to actually concede, but like, I mean, that's the nail in the coffin right there. Like, I think maybe now Martin's best hope is if after bouncing those, he can top deck Quicksilver Gargantuan and then maybe make a copy of Plague Stinger, so he gets a big flyer.
Oh, wow. That would be really good.
Yeah, but even that might not be enough because he's going to be at quite a few poison here.
It's interesting he chose to move the life staff.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
Because now that makes the Plague Stinger lethal.
not lethal, but it's just he's spreading out the poison damage.
No. He has... Martin's at 8.
Martin's
poison.
at 8? I thought it was
Yeah.
7.
No, he's at 8.
Oh, okay. Come on, giant flyer. All right, he's got the skin wing, so he can stay alive for another turn.
He's not in terrible shape, actually.
He only has 3 lands.
Yeah, that's the reason. I mean, Go's sitting here holding like 6 cards or something.
Is that an Ink Moth Nexus that Gaudenis just drew?
Yeah, and look, he's got the 3/1 pro artifacts. Although, interestingly, that guy isn't protection from the Skinwing Germ, I don't think, because the Germ is not an artifact,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
it's black. If it were an artifact, Living Weapon would be so insane.
Yeah.
1 card, 2 artifacts, you're almost at Metalcraft.
That would be nice.
This should be interesting. I mean, if Go chooses to equip it, he can't play the 3/1, and I know he kind of wants to slap down the 3/1. So I'm not sure what Go's going to do this turn. Really, though, we know Martin has nothing, so I mean, I think that he really needs to draw Quicksilver Gargantuan or Arc Trail. Maybe those could get him back in the game a little bit.
Assist bear.
So he plays assist bear. He equips the plague.
And now he'll
stinger.
pass the turn because there's no reason to make the trade because that just allows Martin to skin wing something else.
He's thinking about it.
It would be a really bad
I was
attack.
going to say, he paused long enough to make it look like he was actually thinking about it.
If you're going to make a trade with a, sorry, hold on, I'm making that one.
Yeah, I think they can still hear you over there now, so it's
Also,
fine.
we want to remind
Well, they got a little bit.
that buying and selling of
I think we're still good.
Well, pretty much any time you're going to make a trade with a germ token with the equipment, you have to be gaining. The trade itself is going to benefit them because now they have the option to move the equipment somewhere. So you're going to have to be dealing them some damage or some poison. You're not going to trade just to trade.
not with an authorized dealer are putting themselves at risk of being removed from the event hall.
Like in this case, if he had attacked Lester with the Plague Stinger, Martin wouldn't have taken any damage or poison. It would have just traded them.
Right.
So that's not going to benefit Gaudenis.
That's a 0-for-1 trade.
Yeah, that's not really the reason, but I mean you're right, but that's not really the reason. The reason is because like there's just no gain to it. The skin wing can go somewhere else, and he's not taking any damage.
So he's a swing with both.
He's swinging with both here because if he only swung with the Cis Bear, Martin would be able to double block it. So now he's gaining something from making the trade. He's gaining that the Cis Bear gets to eat the Iron Mirror, which with your opponent at 8 poison and no other permanents, that's enough of a benefit to entice you to make that trade.
What is that? A Green Sun Zenith?
Yeah, he's just going to get a Telgel I'd fall on, I assume.
There it is.
I mean, just. But
Yeah.
that's yep.
There it is. Wow.
There's the hand.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Martin really had some terrible draws. I mean, his best cards are Archils. He never saw him. He mulliganed both games. Got flooded both games. No disrespect to Gaudenis, but that wasn't really a good match.
And quick shout out to TCGplayer.com for also sponsoring us. Yeah, as you can see, they have a little ticker going up the top of the screen. And the all-new store, TCG Player, has added massive store updates. Did you know this?
Mm-mm.
Well, it includes an all-new streamlined layout, huge card upgrades, and now even more vendors to choose from.
to
Over
check that
60
out.
vendors.
Over 60
vendors to
Over
choose
60 vendors.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that, like the Game Academy, they're probably one of those vendors. Maybe.
Oh, I'll check that out when I get home.
We'll find that out.
I buy tons of cards, so.
But with
always interesting.
with that choice over 60 vendors, you always get the lowest price.
Yeah, which would be great.
And it's dynamic on the screen up here as cards move down in price, up and down in price. The
Hey, look, it
style
says-
change right
Yeah,
there.
I can
That's
see
us.
they're already selling Thrun for 15. I paid 20 for him a couple weeks ago.
All right, so I think we could probably get Martin in so that we could take a look at his draft. Did you want to stick around and talk with Martin with his draft?
Sure. I got nothing to do till 11.
I'll
when
step
the
out for
draft
this
opens.
one, let you guys talk about it.
Well, we're gonna.
Well, it's 10:30, so I got 20 minutes.
Yeah, 20. Yeah, this is only a 10-minute video, so it should be pretty fast. As soon as we get Martin in there, I gotta help set some of this stuff up. There's a lot of behind. We gotta pull some strings,
Make the magic happen. Gotta make the
pull the curtain,
veil behind
pull the curtain back, and then magically it'll be the draft segment. So what was your record for day
And
one? How did you end up?
3 and 3.
3 and 3.
After the 3 buys, 6 and 3. But I consider that 3 and 3. You don't beating the buy isn't too
No,
tough.
hey,
But
if you look at the standings, it says you have.
if you look at the standings, I have 18 points.
Yep,
Yes.
that's all that matters.
My sealed was really bad. They actually covered it, so on sideboard everyone can look at my whole pool and see what I built and stuff. And I think I built it correctly and everything. It just wasn't a good pool. Very little in the way of bombs. Very little in the way of.
I mean,
removal.
did you consider making a 4-color special out of your deck?
No, I didn't really have mana mirrors or mana fixers, so it really wasn't possible for me to even play 3 or 4
I
colors.
mean that doesn't stop Conley Woods. does it?
No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
And after yesterday, that was really great because we're waiting for Martin to come back.
What's going on here? Are they playing fun games or something? What are we watching?
What is going on?
And then I thought I saw the match was over.
I thought they played 2 games.
You did.
We saw 2 games, right?
I think
Yes,
so.
we did.
I feel like
And-
I'm going
and-
crazy, but
and-
I'm pretty sure we saw 2 games.
and I think this is what in some other gaming communities we call salty runbacks,
Yeah,
where
sure.
Martin's
Martin's like,
my
I got
deck's
terrible
really,
draws,
yeah,
yeah,
I
give me a
want-
chance to play some fun
Yeah.
games or whatever. Gaudenis is like, man, I like that other deck I played against a lot more than this one.
Yeah, no kidding.
I'm gonna move. I guess we can move the camera over there just to watch them play for fun.
So I suppose they have already asked you about this already. What was the first thing you felt when you were champion? When they handed you the trophy, what was the first emotion that went through your mind, or first thought that went in your head?
You know, honestly, it was kind of like relief. I mean, this was my 8th Premier Top 8, 5 GPs, 3 Pro Tours, and I had never won. You know, I've gotten second a couple times in GPs, you know, top 4, top 8 in the Pro Tours. So it was nice to have a tournament that's going to be mine, you know, that, you know, 10 years from now I can look back and say, you know, PT Paris was mine. I won the tournament, you know?
Well, then that brings up another point. You have championships, multiple top 8s, plenty of pro points. The 3 little letters that attach to it.
Hall of Fame, is that what you're talking
Yes.
about? Or? Well, I mean, I would love to get in, you know, it would mean the world to me. I mean, right now I'm at 188 pro points, 3 Pro Tour top 8s, the win included,
Yes.
and 5 GP top 8s. So I think those stats are probably a little bit light for Hall of Fame. I've always tried to write, I've always tried to contribute to the game. You know, everyone knows me, I've got a spotless record as far as like integrity and whatnot with Magic. But I don't really think I'm going to get voted in unless I continue to do well, which I expect to continue to do well. So, I mean, I hope to get into the Hall of Fame within, you know, a few years. But I don't think if they voted tomorrow, my results would be as good as some of the other people's I'd be competing against.
What if you would happen to continue this run this year and add a POI to the arsenal?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I'm too far off. I mean, I think if I can put up another top 8 this year in a Pro Tour, you know, not even a win, just a top 8, maybe, you know, get a GP win, or, you know, maybe just a second in a GP or something, and then I do win Player of the Year, I could see me getting in next year.
There was discussion early on the forums about when you won, how everybody on Twitter and stuff like that, all your friends were coming out and they were just so proud of you and so happy for you. And that again comes back to the Magic community for you pros. It's so tight that it doesn't seem like there's no animosity between you guys. It's all like, you know, you're great friends with Martin Juza. You know, it seems like everybody in the community is friends with another. Explain to the people that are out there listening right now what that kind of relationship is like with your fellow players.
Yeah, I mean, it's a game, you know. I mean, I think sometimes it gets hyped up to be like more of a war than it is. I mean, we want to play great games of Magic, and we want to think and try and, you know, outmaneuver each other. And then afterwards, you know, we can shake hands and go to dinner because, I mean, you know, nobody was killed, nobody was hurt. You know, the idea is to have fun. You know, the point of the Pro Tour is to, you know, show off the new cards and the new decks and to promote the best strategies. You know, not to beat your opponent into submission. You know, so I mean, I think everybody has to remember that, you know, first and foremost, Magic is about having fun, even on the Pro Tour.
And speaking of another friend,
we're not friends. All right.
Mortal enemies, right?
Yeah.
Mortal enemies.
Cedric is the only person on the Pro Tour I want to beat in a submission.
That's good.
Okay.
Good. It's because he hasn't beaten me yet.
Never.
Oh.
He's actually been beating me for 10 years since he was like 13. He's been beating me in GPs.
I've been beating Ben S.
So that's like the only person you have an OX record against?
I'm sure he's not the only one. He does have probably about 3 or 4 wins against me, though, and I don't think
3
I've ever beaten
sanctioned
him.
wins.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about
casual drafting. I've never beaten you once in my life.
when it counts.
Yeah, absolutely not.
What I've always wondered about that Wizards has never done is posted the lifetime pro records of yourself versus other pros. So you could actually sit there and stare at it and go, wow, I just, you know, Cedric Phillips just for some reason has my number and I don't, you know, what is it? To be able to look at each other's records and kind of go, oh, okay, so when this matchup comes up that we could look at it and go, oh, by the way, it's Stark versus Phillips, and Stark has gone 0 for a lifetime against him. Is this the time that he breaks the cycle?
That could be the next development for Mr. Hagen.
Yeah,
for Richie.
He's the Pro Tour statistician, right?
That's his job. I could see him doing that. Wouldn't be surprised at all.
It would be kind of fun, though, because it'd be a great thing for you guys to have just for fun to say, oh, you know.
It'd be fun for the people at home, too.
It would be fun for the people that are winning. Just be some good trash talk.
Yeah, like, not bad again.
Oh, wow, we've played 6 times?
Yeah.
Oh, you haven't beat me, have you?
You got me once,
Not
have
once
you?
in 6? Isn't Magic supposed to be pretty close to 50-50?
Yeah,
wow.
it'll even itself out.
Yeah,
at
don't
some
worry.
point. Yeah, no, absolutely.
Maybe the next 6 times we play.
Oh, it's like it's. Well, what we're showing on the camera here is the mythical match 3. We had Gaudenis beat Juza 2-0. Are they asking you questions on the stream?
No, not really.
Okay.
Talk about whatever we want.
And now, of course, Martin's crushing go in the fun games.
Yeah,
but
no. Of course.
After mulliganing and getting mana flooded both games.
Why
you know.
is it always
really?
easier to beat your opponent after you lose to him?
I mean, he just had some unfortunate draws. I mean, Go looks like he has a pretty good deck too. Like I said, I'm not disrespecting Go here. Just the games didn't really play out. You know, Martin really mulliganed both games, drew a ton of islands and forests, and very few spells for both games.
And we're back.
Oh, hello.
We are live again.
I like being live. Ben, how'd the GP go for you again?
3-3.
Okay.
Was hoping to sneak it on breakers, but I don't, wasn't that fortunate.
Yeah, you're not Luis.
You might have
I'm not
snuck in.
Luis. I was actually going to say that, but
I say if
said it
you
for that.
Luis would have actually dropped, you might have snuck in because of breakers. You never know.
Well, yeah, I missed by a couple. I was like 137th or something.
Sucks. Could have drawn in the last round. Like if you're X to it.
Well, I wasn't. Yeah, I was.
Yeah.
I was 2-3, and I went in.
I had to play against Paul last round, and we didn't know if we could draw or not. So.
Oh, so he
just-
beat you, and then
he
you
just
missed.
gave me the giant beating.
Yeah, I played. I was 2-2. So in the next to last round, if I had won, I would have been 3-2 and had these been in your position. I would have drawn if given the choice.
Yeah.
I mean, I love to get to the drafts.
So
That's exactly what I want to get to too. Obviously, that's all I care about.
So, gentlemen,
Seal deck.
in a position like LSV's in where he's X3, and there's like little to no chance he's going to make the top 8 unless he would
Yeah,
have
he can't
miraculous
top 8.
breakers. Today is all about making as many points as you can get up as high as you can to get
Top 16.
top 16,
Yeah.
top
Get your pro-
64.
just get your pro points.
Get your pro points.
Yeah, Grand Prix. I mean, they're not all about getting first. I mean, I think for people who are unqualified, they're all about top 16 and grabbing that qualification in the Pro Tour. For the pros, they're all about picking up a few pro points to help you get to the next club level at the end of the year. I mean, Luis is one of the best players in the world undoubtedly, and last year he finished with like 48 points or something. So I mean, an extra 2 points in a GP like this could be the difference between level 7 and level 8 for a top pro.
Yeah.
That's a big deal.
It is interesting to see when you guys talk about the pro levels and stuff like that. We went through online, we went through a whole bunch of them to see what the qualifications were and how many points you guys actually had to have to get there. And going through these tournaments, I mean, it is not exactly the easiest trip to get to level 7,
No,
level 8.
Yeah,
No,
it's a grind.
not at all. It's very, very difficult.
If you're not fortunate enough to win a Pro Tour or maybe get second in a Pro Tour in a given year, but you're a great player like Luis is, I mean, last year he had a top 4 in a Pro Tour, he top 16 2 Pro Tours. I got second in a Grand Prix, and he that's all of that plus some other good finishes still resulted in 2 points short of level 8. Now, granted, he doesn't travel. He doesn't. He goes to a couple overseas GPs, but he doesn't attend all of them like a Martin or a Shuhei.
Are you ready?
Yeah, who wants to talk about Martin on his draft?
Not
I mean,
it.
I watched the draft. So
Why don't you two
Ben
talk
Ash, you're
about
in.
it.
Ben Ash will do it.
Well,
All right.
you're in someone's chair.
I'm getting up.
Get out of here, Cedric.
It looked like you're getting up.
Bye, guys.
I'm getting up.
No, I'm not coming back.
I don't sit
Oh,
next to
you're
people who
coming
beat me
back.
this badly in events. I only sit next to people I can beat.
Okay.
Get out of here.
Don't have to tell you, buddy.
I don't even want to be near you. I hate you. Get away.
We're talking about the despised hatred between each other on the World Tour. Yes.
Martin needs to be in the center.
Sure.
Ben Stark, the friendliest person on the Pro Tour.
Alright, so we're gonna play your draft right here, and then we only open like the first 5 to 6 picks each pack. So we're gonna talk about what you're thinking, flip around, why.
Yeah, sure.
It's gonna ask insights.
You see the games?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Never have an arc trail that would have blown him out at all points. Mulligan, bunch of islands and forests, slow cards. It's just like, I mean, we can see your hands, so the whole time I was just like, Martin's getting so unlucky. Look at him mulliganing into all forests and a 6 drop and whatever.
Would you have kept the first hand? No.
What was the exact 7? I mean,
3 lands, Soliton, Gargoyle, this, like
Corrupted Conscience? Tough to send a 3-lander back with
it was
Corrupted.
like this, this.
Alright, you guys ready?
It was those 4 and
It
island.
was like 3 lands and 4 of those 6.
Yeah, did you have a mountain?
No.
No, I probably wouldn't keep
Yeah,
it then.
right, yeah.
If you had a mountain, I might take my shot because you have the Corrupted Conscience, and if you can top deck into one of the 2 arc trails, it's such a blowout.
Yeah.
Without a mountain, I probably wouldn't keep it.
You guys ready to go?
These draws were really good.
I know, we saw them. The whole time I was like,